Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rabya and welcome to video number 26 for me. Today's video is going to be a part of another video for my how-to series, and it's going to be fully focused on how to do your makeup for perfect pictures and also kind of like how to do a full matte face. This whole inspiration for this video came from when I met Desi Perkins, which I mentioned in my last video. She had a full matte face going on, and I think that's what helped her picture beautifully no matter what angle she was taking the picture in. I did have highlight on that day, and I noticed just how like the certain lighting is not flattering when you have a lot of shimmer and highlight going on. And so this is where that's where the inspiration for this video came from. Obviously these are just tips and techniques I'm sharing based on my experiences. If you love shimmer, if you love highlight, do what you need to do, like feel beautiful however you need to feel beautiful. This is just something I saw, noticed, and wanted to make a video on. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the video. But if you do like the video, please make sure to like, subscribe to my channel, and also follow me on Instagram. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the video. Okay, you guys, I've already started off by prepping my skin. So I did go in to moisturize my skin first with the LMS Pro Collagen Marine Cream to give my skin an all-over moisturization. And then I went in with the Youth of People Kale and Aloe Sunflower Oil Tripeptide 5H Prevention Superfood Eye Cream. And I just use that underneath my eyes to moisturize that. And then I prepped for makeup with my first primer, which is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. It's a primer I use anytime I do makeup. It just helps my makeup look good. And then I went in with the Farsali Skin Tune Blur Elixir just to blur out my pores. And I can't emphasize enough the importance of like prepping your skin before makeup, because how your skin is feeling underneath all of it will kind of translate into the longevity of its wear and how it looks throughout the night. I also just did my brows off camera. I used the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 4.5 and the Gimme Brow in the shade 5. So now we're going to move on to foundation. My favorite matte foundations is the Dior Forever Skin. This is in the shade 41. I'm going to be using this Real Techniques pointed foundation brush. So it's just, you know, that typical foundation brush that's super thin, like it looks like a paintbrush. And I'm just going to warm the product onto the back of my hand, kind of tap it in, and then I'm going to start dragging it across my face, kind of just like painting my face. I'm just going to kind of do streaks across my face and just paint this foundation all over. That's it. I'm just kidding. I'm going to go in now with my beauty blender to blend this in. I like doing that extra step of painting the foundation on just because I feel like that helps get the product onto my face, whereas with the beauty blender, when you apply it initially with the beauty blender, I just feel like the beauty blender picks everything up because, you know, it's there to absorb product. So if you apply your makeup first with a brush, or even if you don't have a brush, you can rub it in with your fingers, you'll get like really good coverage out of it. And then you can use the beauty blender to kind of pick up any streaking you're having so that you get like a more flawless blend. Okay, now to conceal, I'm going to be going in with an oldie but a goodie, the Tarte Shape Tape. And I'm using this in the shade medium. And with this, what I'm going to do is just draw like that same triangular streak across my face, like under my eyes. And then also just down the center of my face. And then to blend that out, I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, and I'm just going to dampen my beauty blender with it. And then blend this all in. And this is all just tapping motions because you want to keep the coverage there. You just want to blend it out. Okay, now I'm going to go in and cream contour. For that, I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. And this is in the shade C12. And so with this, I just like to dot it on anywhere I like to kind of hollow out in my face. So on the underneath my cheekbone, on the side of my head. And I'm just gonna also do like the sides of my nose, but mostly I'm gonna focus this on the tip. This is a pretty pigmented concealer, so I don't feel the need to kind of drag it all across my nose. So So I just like to focus this primarily on the tip and around the nose. Then I'm going to blend it upwards. And then we're also going to hit underneath the lip and then this whole jawline. And then to blend out the face contour, I'm going to be using this crown brush. It's more domed, so I like it, and it's pretty dense. So I just like to push it first. I like to push it into the product. And then once the product's pretty kind of like blended, I like to work in upward motions. And this way you keep the contour coming upwards instead of like all around. So I just like to push it upwards and then back, upwards and back into like my hairline so that there's like no line of demarcation. Some words are so hard to say. And then all of these other lines, it's just like pushing it back into the hairline mostly. Okay, and then now that I have that blended out, I'm going to go in with this Morphe MB25 brush, which is just a smaller like densely packed brush like that for my nose. And so for my nose, what I like to do is just drag this product upwards towards like kind of curving it up into this brow bone area. If you would like a more in-depth like how I like to contour video, I'll link it up here wherever it goes. I did just a little bit ago film like my contour and highlight routine, and it's a lot more in-depth, and I talk about like the products a little bit more. So if you would like to see that, please check that out. And then when I'm doing like more like photography makeup, like I like to cream contour because just like let's say if like throughout the night it starts to fit, like your powders start to fade, this cream it adheres a little bit better to your skin. So even if the contour, like the powder contours fade, this cream will stay on for a lot longer. Okay, so at this point I have all of my cream products on, so I'm going to mist myself with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, and this will just help like the makeup adhere longer. I go when for event makeup and all night makeup, I like to use this like multiple times in the application because it makes your makeup stay on like forever. So while this is still a little tacky, I'm gonna go in with like a clean side of my beauty blender and start pushing all of these cream products in, making sure that they kind of blend into one another, like there's no harsh lines, like that line of demarcation that I was talking about earlier, just because I don't want there to be like a harsh contour and everything. I just want it to kind of look like my face naturally has shape and dimension. Okay, so now I'm going to set my under eyes, and for that I've been loving this Fenty Pro Filter powder in the shade Banana. I'm going to first pick up the powder and pack it underneath of my eyes because I have a lot of creasing under there, so I don't want to set that in. So when I push it into the eyes like this, it kind of helps me not set the creases down, if that makes sense. And then with another sponge, I'm just going to bake the rest of my face so that I can have like a bright tint center face, and also underneath my contour a little bit, just so that it's a little bit more dramatic. And the sponge I like to use for that is the Morphe one. It's like a little angled one, and I like to just push that again, like I push it extra underneath of my eyes and down the center of my face, and also just again underneath that contour line. Okay, so while that's doing its baking, I'm going to just quickly prime my eyes, and you could use the concealer that you were using underneath of your eyes, but I do want to use up this NARS Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard, so it's just a jar concealer. And I want to use this up before it goes bad. Okay, and at this point, I'm just going to go and dust off all of this baking that I've done, and just like dust off all of this excess powder. Okay, so now I'm just going to work on my eyes real quick because they are pretty simple. So I'm going to be going in with the Anastasia Soft Glam Palette. You can 100% do this look with any like mattes that you have. So if you want to do more of a pinky matte, a purpley matte, I always just go with neutral mattes. So that's why I'm going to do this look with that. But you can it's just the whole point is to keep it matte. What I'm going to do first is go into the shade Orange Soda right here. And this is a Morphe 518 brush. And I'm going to pick this up, and I'm just going to work this a little bit like in my crease, but also like primarily above the crease to create that dimension there. I'm going to go into the shade Sienna with a more denser packing like crease brush. This is a Furless ME3. And this I'm just going to work right underneath that the burnt orange shade. And I'm just going to work in windshield wiper motions back and forth. And if you notice, one thing that I always do with my makeup, and I don't know if I do it on purpose or because my eye shape, but it naturally just kind of flicks out in the end. And so I just like to emphasize that V. Okay, with the secondary, like the sienna shade, I am just going to also run that along my lower lash line and connect it to this V that I have up here. To add a little bit more drama, I'm going to go in with Cypress Umber right here, and this is a Morphe M507 brush. This is one of my favorite brushes, a brush I feel like everyone should have. I'm just going to use this color to kind of pack on to this outer corner right here and accentuate that V shape that I have out there a little bit more. So for this one, I kind of mostly just pack it down. And I'm going to go in with a different brush to blend it out because I don't want this color to get everywhere because I just want this dark drama outside. These shadows do have a lot of fallout. I always forget how much fallout Anastasia's shadows have. So if you're a newbie, you might want to do your eyes first before you do your foundation. And now that I have that color packed on, I did do a little bit underneath the lower lash line. So I'm just going to go back in with that first brush that we had. This is the one that we used burnt orange on with, and I have no excess product on it, but I'm just going to kind of blend back and forth this, like just around that Cypress Umber color, just to blend it out so there's no harsh lines. I'm going to pack on this orange soda color to my eyelids. I'm using a Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH330 brush, and I'm just going to pack it on top of everywhere that I kind of cut the crease. I like to, again, when I went and I met Desi Perkins, she had a completely matte look, so that is again what inspired this whole look. And then if you look at pictures of like Kylie Jenner and stuff, like unless she's doing an editorial makeup, like all of her looks are really matte, and I just think that matte photograph well. Like they won't give you a different dimension, like they won't photograph any with like the kind of lighting that you have. Like, okay, and then I'm just gonna blend out these edges. I've said it in multiple videos, I don't really like a harsh cut crease. Like I just don't like how that looks personally, so I always kind of just blend out the edges to make it a bit softer. I mostly cut the crease for the effect of getting super opacity from that lid shade. So I'm going to leave the eyes as is for right now, and I'm going to finish up on the rest of my face. Next, I'm going to go in with bronzer. So this is the Kylie Cosmetics bronzer in the shade Tanned and Gorgeous. It's a nice, pretty dark bronzer, and I like that the undertone is pretty neutral, leaning cool, so that there's no warmth in it. So it does like a good job of adding color, but also like further contouring your face. And then for this, I like to use the Morphe Y11 brush. It's just a nice little contour, a domed brush that I think is perfect for like contouring and bronzing. And I'm just going to use this to set everywhere that I previously contoured. And then I am just going to make sure that I focus it a little bit more upwards because I don't want to lose this like line that I created with the bake. And again, it's always for me with bronzer or anything darker, like I like to just work it back into my hairline. So next for blush, what I'm going to do is go into the Sigma blush palette, and I'm going to mix the shade Tiger Lily in with the shade Cora de Rosa. I want Tiger Lily just so I have a little bit more of that orange tone in the blush so it complements the eyes. Oh, and then this is a Japanese brush. This is one of my favorite brushes for blush. It's so soft and it's so nicely rounded that I feel like I always get like a nice even application with it. And then now I'm going to once again set my face with Urban Decay All Nighter spray. While there's still some moistness on my skin, I'm going to go in with this Bobbi Brown Brick highlighter in the shade Bronze Glow, and I'm going to go in with the Sigma like strobing fan brush, and I'm just going to pick it up and I'm just going to tap this literally super lightly on just like this C of my face. I was bringing my highlight all the way into like this part, and I just don't think that that's very flattering. And like in photographs, because it made me look super chipmunky when I took the picture. So I'm literally just going to squeeze this like only on the sides of my face, like just in that little C cup, like I don't know. I don't bring it down as far anymore at all. And I'm just gonna tap a little bit onto this part of my face. So I put on some of these Lily lashes in the style Miami, and I also just did eyeliner to cover up the band, and it got a lot more dramatic than I was hoping for, but yes, that's the eyes complete. And to finish off the look, I'm gonna go in with a lipstick, and so I'm just gonna go in with a matte orange just to go with all those orange tones in the eyes. This is the Ofra Lasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Miami Fever. Just gonna put some of this on. Okay, so this Ofra lipstick's a little too bright orange for me, so I'm gonna go in with the ColourPop Mamacita liquid lipstick. Okay, you guys, and that completes this look. I really hope that you guys found this video helpful and the tips and techniques that I used helpful. Again, this is not a rule of thumb. This is just something that I noticed when I was taking photographs, that a more matte look like this photographs a lot better. But of course, do what makes you happy. Be a glitter ball, be a highlight ball, be whatever you'd like to be, and you, as long as you're happy in the photograph, I'm sure it'll translate across. And yeah, so if you did like this video and if you'd like to see more how-to videos, please let me like the video and just leave me a comment on what you would like to know how to next, and I will make sure to make a video for that. And with that, I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support and for constantly watching my videos, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!